guys, we're getting ready to get started. We can quiet down. And I forgot I left out business. So speaking order is Congressman Towns, Congressman Shays, Betsy with the NASW, and then Dr. Hyde. All right?
Let me say, I'm going to be brief because I know social workers love brevity. I'm aware of that. You know, I must admit, I was not always aware of it. I'll tell you how I found it out. I was doing a commencement at Grambling College, and these two ladies ran over to me, and one was like really excited. Of course, she was saying, you know, I brought my sister, you know, she had never heard you. And she says, I heard you at the commencement at North Carolina A&T. She says, and I'm telling you, I told my sister she just had to come to hear you. And so, of course, you know, being the effective social worker that I am, I figured I could get some information from her to use at that graduation. So I said to her, well, what did I talk about? She said, I don't know, but you were brief. So I recognize how important brevity is. You know, I'm delighted to be joined by my colleague, Chris Shays, and of course, the National Association of Social Workers, along with Dr. Dorothy Heights. Of course, Dr. Heights is a person that really needs no introduction. You know, if you don't know Dr. Height, then where have you been? You should get out from under that rock that you're under, because everybody knows her and what she's done. This is a great day for me. Dr. Height, Whitney Young are two of my personal heroes and had a lot to do with me going into the field of social work. So this is a very, very special day for me. I also want to express my support of the millions of Americans who serve daily by the nation's social workers. I'm acutely aware of the significant contribution that social workers have made to the socio-economic fabric of our nation, and I'm equally aware of the troubling challenges that prevent my professional colleagues from continuing to deliver essential social services. Let me say that this is a very important piece of legislation we put forward. So I invite my colleagues in the House and Senate to consider the far-reaching effects of the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, to say nothing of the persistent echoes of years of conflict in Vietnam and Southeast Asia. More than any other group of professionals, and I say this, and I want to be loud and clear, I want to be understood, that the American social workers provide our armed services and combat veterans with mental health intervention. The social workers are always there.
I mean, there she is.
For these reasons and many others, America will increasingly demand the services of a highly skilled professional social work community. Unfortunately, this community is not currently equipped to keep pace with this increasing demand for vital services throughout the country. The Dorothy I. Height Whitney M. Young Jr. Social Work Reinvestment Act is the solution to the problem.
We're going to hear from Dorothy next.
Right.
I'll follow.
Right. Now we hear from Dr. Height, and then Congressman Shays will follow.
Can you all come on up a little bit?
Yes, come on in here, yeah. Yeah.
First of all, I want to say thanks to my congressman from New York, Congressman Towns, and to Congressman Shay for introducing this and for really taking into account 600,000 social workers across this country who invest themselves in their work. But you know, one of the thoughts that occurred to me was, and it's something that's little known, is I carried a role in the United Civil Rights Leadership, but it is little known that that group came together around Congressman Towns, around social work issues. Whitney Young, who was then with Whitney Young had a relationship with the Taconic Foundation and Stephen Currier, his president. And he convinced them that there was too little given in food philanthropy to help the issues that the Urban League and the National Council, all of our organizations, are dealing with. He said, you know, we know more about what needs to be done than we have the funds to do anything. So Stephen Currier, in 1962, called together Martin Luther King Jr., Whitney, of course, Roy Wilkins of the NAACP, James Farmer, James Foreman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and I was there representing the National Council. Our assignment was to see what we could do about social welfare, giving much more philanthropy that would be helpful. Each one chose an area. I don't remember all of them, but I remember that Whitney chose housing. I chose boards because at that time, many of the boards that served minority communities had no representation on them from those communities. And around the circle we were working. And we had to agree that we would never send a substitute to a meeting. The only exception was when Martin Luther King Jr. was in the Birmingham jail. He was allowed to send Andy Young to represent him. But all of us were working on the issues related to social welfare. Then on June the 12th, 1963, Medgar Evers was assassinated. And Stephen Currier called us together and he said, we have to do more. We have to work now to see what we can do on the issues in civil rights. And so he brought together at the Carlisle Hotel 90 people and said to them, we must give more support. That was the first $900,000 ever raised for the civil rights organizations and for civil rights. And out of that, the group was named the United Civil Rights Leadership. And I think, and I know that Whitney, before his untimely death, would have told you much more about this, because I think it showed the relationship between social work and civil rights. Well, after that,